there, I'm Zanette Negron, and our special guest today is Alice Van Ommeren. Welcome, Alice.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. You know what, I know quite a bit about you, but our viewers don't. And I'm going to start off with your wonderful award in 2010, the Captain Charles M. Weber Award that is given to local individuals that have actually reported or had an actual authored a book in regards to the historic sites of Stockton and its history. And you got that award last year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, with that, I know that there's a lot more to you than that. With a passion collecting your postcards. You want to start with that?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, it's the book is called Stockton Vintage Postcard, and it was actually published about 7 years ago, and it's been quite popular. It still keeps selling, and people still keep asking for the book or so. And it's been in several printings so far. And it all started. I saw an old postcard of Stockton, and started looking for more and more postcards. And at some point, I came across Arcadia Publishing, and they publish a postcard series. And so, so 7 years ago, I published a book, and which led to all kinds of other projects from there on, basically.
Now, you have a Facebook. Is that part of that Facebook?
Well, I use Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page for the book.
And you had
vintage postcards.
And you had something like 1,200.
Actually, there's another. It's a group, and it's called Stockton History.
Okay.
And that one has about 1,200 members, and people contribute photos and stories about Stockton history. And that's been very successful as well.
So you have a lot of dialogue and interchange. Excellent.
Yep.
So we can post that and have people visit that as well. Now, you are heading where? I mean, you had a lot of different accolades in 2010. You've got your doctorate for education. I know you even taught at Delta College years ago, and you're an educator. Correct?
Yeah, actually, I work for the California Community Colleges, and I'm actually a researcher in higher education.
In higher education.
So, I spend my day, doing research related to higher education. But I like to teach as well.
You like to teach as well.
So, so I try to find opportunities to educate as well.
Now, this journey has taken you somewhere where you're coming up with your second class over at UOP in regards to the Stockton and history and so forth, and you want the community to come and join you, obviously, I would hope, right?
Right. Well, it's kind of, when I published the book, Stockton Vintage Postcards, I served a term on the Cultural Heritage Board, which is an advisory board to the city, and they do a lot of preservation efforts, historic preservation efforts. And so we did some landmarking of buildings and preserving basically the history of Stockton. But it really dawned on me that people. The education piece was really missing as far as history. People didn't realize that Stockton has such a rich history, and so I started looking for opportunities to educate people. And partly due to the success of the book, I could see people had an interest in the history of Stockton. And so, and I did a lot of presentations in the community when I was marketing the book. To service organizations, to museums, to all kinds of different groups. And at some point it dawned on me that that there was no opportunities to really learn that much about history. And so the idea of teaching a 5-week course through University Pacific for the community at large, but specifically for community leaders, business professionals, and local educators.
And this is wonderful because Stockton is constantly in the news, and it's not usually in a positive light. So this to me is a really great story to share with everyone out there of what there is and all the richness that Stockton has.
Right.
Tell me, what was one of the surprising things that you found out in your journey and your research about Stockton?
Well,
that maybe some folks might not know.
Right. Well, it's kind of the part that the class is only 5 weeks. It's a 5-week course. It's Wednesday nights in March. and so I couldn't do the whole, the whole entire Stockton history. So I decided to focus on Stockton's golden era, really the time that
the era
that Stockton was most prominent, was one of the most prominent cities in the state, starting in the late 1800s, beginning 1900s or so. So the class is really focused on that era, and I think that's the part that people just don't know, that Stockton was a very, very industrious.
Well, they may know, but they don't know the details and how wonderful and rich, because it is a wonderful era, and I know you're going to highlight on that, and I think that's phenomenal, because it's going to give a whole different flavor to the city, and people should know about it, and they should communicate this. It should be all over Facebook, Twittering, and so forth and so on, and that would be wonderful to see. Now, Alice, anything you want to add to our viewers?
No, I mean, I encourage people to, not only, if they can't come to can't take the class, there are the museums. There's the Hagen Museum. There's a lot of local history, the San Joaquin Historical Society, and there's the libraries. Is to learn about Stockton history on their own, and really take pride in the city.
Excellent.
Its history is really, really rich.
Well, there you go. Anyway, we're going to post the information for Alice right here in regards to her email, and also information of a link to the courses that she'll be giving. So for those of you that are interested in joining her, wonderful for you to go. And Alice, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
All right.